So there's this video on YouTube called Death Note is Offensive in full capital letters, and since I've seen it 8 times, I feel like I should probably comment on it. So let's begin.
Konnichiwa, this is Kacipachirisu. I was just making this video to let you guys know how kind of sad I am right now. I was flipping through channels the other night and I came across Cartoon Network, which by that time was Adult Swim. Now, I'm not allowed to watch Adult Swim, but I kind of watched it a little anyways.
Now, if you look at the animation that's being played, I think that in itself indicates how incredibly hypocritical this person is. And also, she's not allowed to watch that, but she's okay with putting this animation in her video. I don't think it looks very appropriate, if you know what I mean.
And this anime was on that was called Death.
Turn MSN off when you're recording a video. It's not nice to hear doo-doo-doo. You won't like it if I had that in the middle of this video, would you?
Note. And well, I just.
And the image I've shown there has no relevance to the actual thing itself. It's clearly there just to indicate or overemphasize the possibility of its badness. That's not official at all.
Have to say that I didn't really like it. It was really offensive. It was.
Now, I don't know how it can be offensive, really, but I'm sure you're going to justify it. It is only the first minute of the 9.5 minutes of the video, so let's see your justification. We're sure it's going to be amazing.
Was really rude. It swore.
It's awful. Although thinking about it, there's not that much, if anything. I can't think of anything in particular.
And it just really upset me. And I think that I'm going to make this video while I'm making it, because you're
Obviously. Yes, we're watching it. That's what you can say now.
watching it, about Death Note. Now, there are many things in Death Note that I find very offensive.
Many.
Starting with the characters. First of all, Light Yagami, or
Yagami? It's Yagami.
like Soichiro Yagami, because their last names, well, if you say them backwards, it's I'm a gay, and
Herp-de-derp, my name backwards, I'm a gay. No. Just, that's like the worst justification ever. That's completely coincidental. It's a Japanese name, so, like, it may do that when translated. I mean, they could have had anything. And plus, Yagami sounds cool. It's just a complete coincidence that that's apparently what it says backwards. I mean, if I was reading it backwards, I would probably read it Imagai, which isn't the same thing.
I really think that that's offensive to not only me, but gay people.
You and gay people won't be offended by a person's surname being apparently pronounced I am gay backwards.
Because they, in a way, are making fun of them, and
No, they're not.
I really think that it's, that's just completely uncalled for. They didn't need to do that. They didn't need to put that in there. They could have used any last name, but they had to use Yagami, and I just really don't like it. Second of all, L to me is offensive because he just sits on his butt all day and he has unlimited amounts of money, and it's really just saying that you can sit on your butt all day and pretty much do nothing, because that's what he's doing, nothing.
First of all, he doesn't have an unlimited amount of money. No one ever has an unlimited amount of money. The most money-related thing he does in the entire thing was build a massive building, but that's there to be used in order to solve the investigation, which is killing millions of people around the world. So I'm pretty sure it's justified to have one building made.
thing, and you can get lots and lots of money. That could encourage people to sit down and just sit there all day and do nothing. And
he does sit around a lot, but he doesn't do nothing. He spends a majority of time not sleeping, and when he's awake, he does nothing but his work, which is to solve the investigation. So saying that you can sit down and do nothing is just not right. He might indicate that you can sit down and work and get lots of money, but you're interpreting his characteristics incorrectly.
they're not going to get money, and they're going to be like, but I watch Death Note, and L's super rich, and he just sits on his butt. Well,
If you think that's what's going to happen, then you seem to have a very low opinion on society.
I'm sorry, that's not how the world works. So people need to go out there and get jobs and not sit on their butts like L and just assume that everything is going to come to them for free. The next person I want to talk about is Matsuda. Now, a lot of people find Matsuda really funny, but I
Matsuda is hilarious.
don't, because Death Note is making fun of mentally challenged people when
He isn't mentally challenged.
they put Matsuda into the cast. I really don't think that's okay. I really don't think that that is acceptable, and I think that Matsuda should be taken out. Next,
If Matsuda wasn't in the entire thing, then it just wouldn't be funny at all. In fact, I think without him, you would probably find it more offensive because there's nothing funny to make it, well, funny. Exactly. You're complaining about things like, ooh, the name's bad, and you're probably going to go on to like, ooh, actually, you might not go on to, ooh, loads of people die. Because I think people dying all the time is probably more something you could disapprove of than a person's surname or a person who you're assuming is mentally crazy or whatever. I don't know. You're being stupid. Why do they have to cast you in the video you're creating right now? I think it's offensive to mentally challenged people.
I would like to talk about Matt, who doesn't come in until later, so if you don't know who he is, that's spoiler. Matt to me is really offensive also.
So, this random character who comes in on one episode, I think is really offensive because they exist in this anime, which I disapprove of because of a character's name being backwards is naughty.
Because of his chain smoking. I read an article that said that they were going to make it at any like show or movie that someone smokes in rated R, and I strongly support that. I support that more than like any other issue right now, because we don't want our youth smoking, and Matt is just setting.
Maybe the most intelligent thing you said is that little bit there. I don't want our youth smoking, but then every single bit of words around that is rubbish.
A horrible example. And also, spoiler alert, he gets shot, and that
Someone gets shot in an anime called Death Note.
that is really offensive to me.
It's offensive. They died. I'm so offended. Oh no.
Because I know people who know people who know.
I know people who know people who know people who know people who died.
Know people who have been shot, and I don't think that that should be seen on television. Next, I would like to talk about Watari. Now,
Watari? It's Watari? Who's Watari? It's Watari.
Watari to me is just, not that him himself is offensive, but the meaning behind him is really offensive. I mean, if you look at him, he's an old man, and he's pretty much a slave to L, and
He's not a slave. I mean, well, I don't want to spoil the anime, although you're seeming to be doing a pretty bad job of that. But he's not a slave. He gets paid. He enjoys doing what he is doing. And he gets well paid for doing his job. And you complained about L doing the opposite and sitting around doing nothing all day. He's like, according to how you seem to be putting it, the complete opposite of L.
I really think that he represents slavery of old people, and I don't think that's right. I think that Watari should be taken out because that really, old people have worked so hard, and that just says like, oh, we don't care that you're old, you can just be my slave. It's horrible. And
So if he wasn't old, it would be okay if someone was a slave. Okay. Also, so far you've said you wanted to cut Matsuda and Nawatari from the show. I don't know what type of show you want to be creating, but it doesn't sound like a very good one.
Okay, next I want to talk about pretty much the most offensive character in Death Note. I think you all know who I'm talking about.
I'm gonna guess it is... No idea.
Mello.
What? No. Why? What? Okay, let's just listen. She's going to justify herself. Okay, be prepared to go insane.
Now, Mello is so offensive. I'm
So offensive.
really surprised that they
In fact, wait, I'm gonna call it now. She's gonna want to cut him from the show.
even let him on the internet. Now,
They let him on the internet. He's a character. He's not... No, you mean the other way. But you're putting him on the internet right now. You're talking about him on the internet. You don't think that should be happening? Oh no.
I'm not exactly sure how Viz is gonna deal with Mello on the television. I really hope that they censor him because Mello himself is one big censor bar waiting to happen. I mean, if you look at Mello himself, you can't tell. Is he a guy? Is he a girl? Is he a transvestite? You don't know. And
Yes, you do. He's a guy. His name is Michael. Do you know any female Michaels? Didn't think so.
that can send the wrong message to little kids. And I think that Mello really should define his gender, which he doesn't do. Some people are like,
Yes, he does.
yeah, he's a guy. Well, I never heard
Because he is.
him say I'm a guy in the show.
I haven't heard you say you're a girl. Am I wrong to assume that you're one? Oh, no, you're probably just like 10 years old. That's why you sound that way. Oh well.
He never said I am a guy or I am a male in the show. He
And you haven't done the same thing about yours.
never said that. Okay? He never really makes his gender completely definite, okay?
Although saying that, none of the other characters in the series do the same thing either. So why doesn't she complain about that with them?
People just assume. Stop assuming. You know what happens when you assume.
Oh no, I know what happens when I assume. Oh no, what's gonna happen? Oh no!
And also, Mello's wearing leather, and
Not leather, anything but leather.
that really, to me, speaks for itself. Leather is a no, and should be censored. He wears a cross around his neck, and that's
Religious. We must remove the cross because we cannot indicate any form of religiousness in the anime.
really offensive to people who aren't Christian, okay?
I'm not offended.
And that his necklace should just be taken off. It should be put away in a safe spot where he's not flaunting his religion to the world, okay? And also, he has a scar, and that really just shows to me past violence in the show, and I really don't like violence, and I think it should be taken off. So,
You're so stupid. They should take out an injury which was caused by a previous event within the show, which is required for the entire show to work. It's part of the plot. You can't remove it. Just like if you removed Watari or Matsuda, it just would not work. Stop saying you want every single thing removed.
So, yeah, they need to work on Mello not having a scar. And just, overall, Mello is just a very, very offensive character. And I found this picture on MySpace, and I really think it depicts how Mello should be seen in the anime. Um, it's really great. It's very masterfully edited. You can't tell it's been edited, and yet Mello seems a lot less offensive than he was before. So here's the picture.
Are you serious? That is... No, you are so trolling. Troll.
I really like it. I think
No.
you should like it too, and I really
No.
think that Viz should consider showing Mello on screen like this because it's
Yeah.
a lot less offensive to
Yeah,
everyone.
sure, yeah.
Okay. Lastly, I would like to talk about Nier. Okay, Nier pretty much goes with the same thing as L. He sits on his butt all day. And two, he likes pretending to be an old man. Once again, that...
He likes pretending to be an old man. Yes, that's why he plays with toys all the time. And also, you say he sits around all day. The justification that went with L comes with N is the same thing. He works all day. And also, you say he sits around, but the idea is he's meant to be hiding from the public so that he doesn't die, and also people don't know who he is, just to generally benefit him with his investigations. So, yeah. Also, I'm surprised he didn't want to cut Mello from the show entirely, just his scar. Ooh.
that ties in with Watari. Old people command respect, and by Nier mocking old people by having white hair, that's not cool, okay?
Your hair color offends old people.
Nier, you just need... Also, he never, ever, 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 ever gets dressed. He's always in pajamas.
He never gets dressed? He's wearing clothes to me. Don't know what you're watching, but I'm sure if he didn't, you'd probably find that offensive and want him removed from the show.
Pajamas or some kind of unsophisticated attire. And I think that says to America, hey, you don't need to get up and get dressed. Be lazy, you know, sit around on your butt all day and don't even get dressed. I will credit L, he did get dressed. But Nier, he just sits on his butt. He doesn't even get dressed. That is sloth. That is a sin. And I don't agree with it. And I just think that Nier himself should be censored and be one big censor bar.
Imagine watching Death Note and every single time you see Nia, there's a massive black box on the screen. It says censored going across it. Nah.
Okay, so you may ask me, well, if you hate Death Note so much, well, you probably just don't want it on TV. Well, that's not true. I think...
Well, clearly it is. You want pretty much all of the main characters censored. You want pretty much the entire thing changed. Also, I'm interested to know how you know so about all of these characters, which span across 37 episodes, yet you disapprove of it so much. And you're not allowed to watch the channel it's showed on. Yeah, it's just... You're clearly trolling.
it should be on TV. But I think that it's really unfortunate that it wasn't dubbed by my favorite dubbing company ever.
Don't say 4Kids. We all know that she's super stupid if she says 4Kids.
4Kids.
She is so stupid.
I think they do a really great job. I think they do a good job with censorship and all kinds of stuff. And I really think that 4Kids dropped the ball on this one for not getting the rights to it before Viz did, because 4Kids should have realized that this was a great opportunity to make Death Note shine in the way it should have been. And
It's amazing, and if 4Kids got it, it would just be terrible, because they over-censor everything. Just to the point of unacceptability. I mean, I've watched 4Kids shows, but if they were to have tamed something like Death Note, it just would not work.
not in this violent, transvestite-loving anime.
What?
And I think that, really, I'm a little disappointed in 4Kids. But Death Note, I wouldn't watch it. I don't think you should watch it. It's just really offensive. So I guess I'll talk to you guys later.
And back to the inappropriate animation, which she doesn't seem to see anything wrong with. But anyway.
Bye.
Wow, that was bad. And this video has a ton of dislikes, and there's also been loads of video responses to it. Pretty much like this one. And oh, she's so stupid. I'm sorry, she complained that Mello didn't address his gender. It didn't approve of it, because that's what I have to refer to it as, because it might not approve of me assuming, because we know what happens when people assume, don't we? Ooh. Okay. Idiot.